Welcome to the Other Side of the Page bonus chapter. This is a previously recorded episode from our former podcast with the author of Love and Other Conspiracies, Mallory Marlowe. This has been slightly re-edited, so the formal intro and some of the outro pieces have been removed, and this was recorded in October of 2024. And make sure you tune in on Wednesday, August 13th for our new chat with Mallory Marlowe about her second incredible book, Love at First Sighting. Please enjoy. Hello, everyone. We are your hosts. I'm Britt.
And I'm Hannah.
And today we are bringing you a very special episode.
Yes, we have the honor of hosting the USA Today Bestselling Author of Love and Other Conspiracies herself, Mallory Marlowe. Welcome, Mallory.
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm just so excited.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Mallory. I am an author, the author of Love and Other Conspiracies, which came out back in August. So it's still a little new, but I am a big paranormal enthusiast, which is obvious in the book. And as a day job, I write for video games. So I'm definitely very on the nerdy side, and I think that also comes through in the book.
I think that's why we loved it, because we could relate for sure.
Honestly. Yeah. I literally have a Ouija board planchette tattooed on me.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just, we're just weirdos at heart. So I feel like this is just going to work out beautifully.
Yep,
for sure.
Definitely. So in this episode, we are going to be chatting with Mallory all about things Love and Other Conspiracies, her process, maybe a bit more about her favorite conspiracies, or just other odd happenings and what's next for her.
Yes. And then if you want to hear our deep dive of Love and Other Conspiracies, Hannah and I already did a review on it and we loved it so much we had to ask her to come on the podcast. So that will already be out. So if you guys want to hear all of our thoughts, spoiler alert, we loved it. That episode is already out with our full deep dive.
And then, Mallory, we'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about your book in your own words.
Yeah, so Love and Other Conspiracies is a contemporary rom-com centering around a woman named Hallie, who is a producer at a tech startup media company. It's very BuzzFeed-like. And in order to save her job, because it is on the chopping block, she has to come up with a premise for a web series to compete in their company's web series competition. She just doesn't know where to start and what kind of show she wants to make. Late night, watching bad trash documentary TV, she discovers Hayden Hargrove, who is a paranormal conspiracy theorist podcaster. And she just thinks he is the answer to her prayers, and he will make a great host for this show. And so in their process of creating this first season and hunting for aliens, Bigfoot, Mothman, all of the above, they also find love.
Love it so much. Yes, we do. Now on our podcast, we always do a song choice for every book. And so we already chose a song. We're just going to repeat our song so you can hear ahead of time what we have chosen. But do you want to tell us one of your song choices that you have for your book?
Yes. So wouldn't it be funny if they were the same?
Imagine.
That would be wild. So I chose two, but the first one that I picked, which I think is really, really on the nose, is a song called Cryptid Mothman in parentheses by a artist called Ratwife. Wife is spelled with a Y.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what was your second choice?
My second song, because as we know I am a Swiftie, is Begin Again, because I feel like that is just a very Hallie song.
I love it. So one of my backup song choices was actually Sparks Fly, which is why I have my little Speak Now cardigan on. But the song I actually went with, I saw you post for Love at First Sighting, and I actually chose Slut. Because of everything that goes down. And so that was my original song choice. So I'll talk a little bit more about that too.
We love all the Taylor.
Love. Yes.
My song choice was Mean by Taylor Swift with mine as a running backup. So
I love that.
Still similar to Begin Again vibes.
We had a very Speak Now heavy backlist for this book.
Yeah.
It felt very, very Speak Now, but no, I'm so excited. We're going to chat a little bit more about the book itself here, ask some questions, find out what's next, and definitely talk about some conspiracies because
totally
we love conspiracy rabbit holes. But Do you want to talk a little bit more about the inspiration for Love and Other Conspiracies? Like, how did this come to you? Have you been marinating on this for a while?
Yeah. So, I mean, I always just grew up loving the paranormal. Like, I was always trying to do ghost tours in every city that we went to, or, watching like the America's Most Haunted Destinations docuseries on Travel Channel, and it would like scare me, but I was fascinated anyway. So I've always just like had that passion for the unknown in, just in my everyday life. It's always been an interest. And so then when I got into like reading romance and writing romance, I was like, what a fun place to make people fall in love and like send them to a haunted house or make them go out in the woods and hunt for Bigfoot. Like you are out in the elements. So you're definitely going to want to cling a little closer to somebody. So it was kind of like a marriage of those two interests that came together in a really fun and zany way for me.
Yeah. It's so unique. It was so fun. Like I saw a couple of girls talking about it on TikTok before the release, and I immediately told Hannah, I was like, we must read this. Like we must.
Yeah, it was just refreshing because Brittany and I both love paranormal conspiracies. We have talked about that. We've known each other for probably like almost 15 years now.
It's close to 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's awesome. One thing that we've always bonded over. So it was fun to read a romance novel for it because we've read so many romance lately that it was refreshing to have that be the background for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has the reaction been so far? Because this is your debut novel. Like, is there anything that you're surprised that readers are picking up on or the reactions at all?
I mean, it's been so like overwhelmingly positive, which is surprising. I think not because I don't feel like it's a strong book or I'm not proud of it in a way, but I think that when you put something you've created into the world, you are kind of expecting there to be people who just like hate it and just trash it. And there are people who this book is not for, and that's totally fine. Like there are not every book is going to work for every person. So I'm cool with that. But I mean, I think it has just been like so heartwarming and sweet to hear people tell me their stories about like, oh, like my dad and I used to watch Ancient Aliens like every night together. And that was like a tradition. Or, people kind of come out of the woodwork and share things like, oh, like my uncle is actually a Bigfoot hunter. And these little kind of like anecdotes that this book has brought up that people want to tell me. And it's been really, really fun to hear all of those. And I think that, people are a little weird and they want to share it. So it's really nice seeing people be like, I felt really seen by this because I'm also a nerd and a weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm like, good. Like, I'm really glad.
Yeah, I love that like mainstream media too, like with social media and stuff, you can connect with people who are a little bit more like you. Like this stuff could have made you feel ostracized growing up. Like I've always been, Hannah knows too, like in tune with the paranormal. I've always had weird experiences. I've always felt things. Like unfortunately played with a Ouija board as a child and like, just all that stuff. So like getting to connect with people who like also are actually normal, but we're all just little weirdos at heart has been the best experience.
Yeah.
So you also write for video games too. So is your writing process, like how different is it to write a novel versus writing for something in video games? Do you dive right in? Are you an outliner? Are you a little bit of both?
Yeah, I mean, between the two, they are drastically different because when I'm writing a novel, I mean, I find it easier in some ways because you are just doing it for yourself. Like, the story just has to be what I want it to be. And, any problems that come up, they're my fault. I've done that. But then when you're working as part of like a writing team, or especially in video games where you have art, you have animation, you have tech, like all of these different departments that you create something and then they have to go make it. And sometimes the thing you make is really hard. And so they're like, we can't do that. Like you're going to have to simplify this a little bit. And I think that you have to think from an interactive lens in a way, like if this is engaging, how are you still satisfying your player? So I think that you just kind of have to think about a different audience. Like romance readers, I think, are a very different audience from gamers.
For
sure. But I try to be pretty like outline savvy. I tend to sometimes get really excited about an idea and then just go for it, which I should probably like get better at not doing that. Because then you get like 20,000 words and you're like, I don't know what comes next. So I'm a little bit of like an in-between of like a plotter and a pantser. I try to be organized, and then it doesn't always work out so well.
Yeah. No, the
That's
process is, I would think that they would be super, super different. No, that's so cool. That I love that you have both sides of the spectrum from your like your job and then now being an author too.
Is there a scene or a chapter that you're most proud of, or one that like started it all that you can remember this was the first one you wrote?
Ooh, I mean, I did start right from the beginning with this book. However, it was a really different process because I started writing it in 2020. And it was a completely different book. Like it was just a podcast. It was not, it wasn't a web series. Sorry. I think we just had an earthquake. So feeling
Oh my gosh.
I'm in LA. I felt the ground shake and I was like, wait a minute. I'll just see if it's really good. I can start that over.
So casual.
Yeah, right.
It was really small. We had a bigger one earlier today. And so I'm like, oh, it's probably an aftershock. Okay. When I first started writing this book in 2020, it was really different. They were just podcasters. It was set in Boston, so it was completely different. And Hallie was also a video game developer, so that kind of was like, a little marriage of my, aspirations at the time. It always kind of started in this current version with that opening scene. So I really did go pretty linear, I think. But one of the scenes that I just love the scene when he takes care of her when she's sick. That is like my catnip trope. So it was originally not in the book. And then I was just kind of doing it to build chemistry and see like, oh, this is cute. Like maybe I can get like some nuance to their characters as I'm drafting if I just write this extra scene. And then I was like, no, I really like this. We gotta get this in the book somehow.
Yeah. I feel like
we love that.
Yeah, we talked about that during our episode. That was like one that I was like, he washed her hair. He washed her hair. Like oh,
how intimate to get a man to wash your hair for you.
It's so good, especially being like sick. Like oh, you're just so embarrassed, but like he just doesn't make you feel anything but like cared for. I feel like everyone needs a Hayden. Everyone needs a nerdy little conspiracy theorist. Same. If there's like a line of them, just like send one my way. Nerdy conspiracy theorist.
If I'm not keeping him for myself, I'll send him towards you.
Perfect. Thank you.
We'll clone him for you guys.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm sure there's some like weird,
can
sci-fi thing we can make happen.
He believe in it.
Yeah, 100%. What character do you see yourself most in? Obviously, we have our two main characters. Do you see yourself most in Hallie? Do you see a little bit in Hayden? Like, what's the vibe there? A side character?
I'm a pretty even split between Hayden and Hallie, I think. I definitely have like her insecurity and her fear of being perceived, and a lot of like her relationship with Kate and overcoming that trauma came from like a job that I had. So like it was really channeling and cathartic to write her relearning her worth because I was doing the same thing at the same time. It was just not a boyfriend. It was a workplace. And then I also, just the weird side of Hayden is really me. Like the one who is always going down weird internet rabbit holes. Like I'm staying up way too late because I found a really interesting Reddit thread that I'm just like addicted to. I can't pull myself away. So I think that I have her like more negative traits or the things that she's struggling with. And then I have all of like Hayden's oddness.
I feel like that's a good way to do it because obviously you pull a little bit from real life, like as you're writing these characters. Like you have to pull like a little bit of what you know, whether it's from you or someone else. But it's fun that it's like an even split between both MCs for you.
For sure.
And then, I mean, you brought up Cade, right?
Yeah.
So my song, spoiler, Mean, is directed towards, our boy Cade.
Absolutely.
But, we hated him. So good job writing him as that type of character. And you kind of mentioned how you had that like relationship in a like workplace, right?
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that personally? And how was that kind of written to mirror that experience for you?
I mean, I think that it was when you're encountering a situation, or like for me, it was workplace where you just felt unvalued and, you question your worth. And you like there were some things that Cade says that I had said to me. And so, but and the thing that with him that I really wanted to do is that he's insidious and he doesn't like go up to her and say you suck. Like he's doing it in a way that makes her believe it. He doesn't have to say it. He's trying to plant the seed in her head because he knows that it'll grow a lot stronger when she can fester, let the idea fester. So I think that, I feel like I wanted him to have that aspect, but also like I work in the entertainment industry, and there are so many men that are just like him. I do get some people who are like, he's cartoonishly evil, but I'm like, I wish he were cartoonishly evil. But unfortunately, there are so many people that do behave like that, and they get rewarded like he has been for so long. So it was really nice to see him get his, and really fun to write that too, and be like, this guy sucks. So he's not going to get any more rewards and crest for being cool because he's not.
Yeah, I was so happy for that because I was like, I mean, I know there's happily ever after. It's a romance novel, but you're so immersed in it. I'm like, watch, he's going to go into that boardroom and going to keep his job and Hallie's gone. And I was so nervous. I'm like, no, Hannah, it's a happy ending.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, we had talked about like in our episode, I related it to like the movie Get Out, where the police car pulls up at the end and your stomach drops, but it ends up being like the right thing that happens.
The guy,
it was like
the
that
friend.
Same feeling where he's in the boardroom and you're like, fuck, he's gonna do it again. Like he's gonna make it happen. And I like that you pointed out the cartoonishly like evil thing, because if you've never experienced it, it's very easy to say things like that don't exist. But when you've had things said to your face that are the most like vile, disgusting things, or witnessed it happen to another person, you realize that there's no limit to how gross people can be.
And like I do think that like people in real life are like toxic partners and stuff, like they'll be worse. Like they will start cursing, they will call you like absolutely horrible names. I did want to avoid that. Like I didn't want to, you know, get too into the name calling, but it would happen in real life. That's for sure.
Now, in the course of the book, obviously, it's so much fun. There's so many like nerdy little things going on. But was there like any scene or any moment that you felt like you had to revisit a lot, you had to restructure, like that was kind of the hardest for you to piece together?
The ending. That gave me a hard time for so long, like 5 drafts. And I was just like getting closer and closer. And there initially was a traditional third act breakup, where, you know, the things that Cade had said kind of push them apart, and they, you know, it gets them in a fight together. And when we went out on sub and we met with my editor at Berkeley, she was like, this book shouldn't have a third act breakup, because in how it is now, they wouldn't do that to each other. And Hayden especially wouldn't do that to her. Like he wouldn't go for a low blow on her when she's already vulnerable. And that's not the type of relationship that they have. And so it changed from a third act breakup to a third act conflict. Like they do have something that pushes them apart a little bit, but it's not really about them. Like they are always okay. It's more like Hallie has to learn how to show up for herself and the things that make her happy. But man, I did that ending so many times. And I'm really happy with where it ended up. I think like that was completely the right call. So I'm really glad that she said it, because it made the book so much stronger.
Yeah. And I feel like so many people hate the third act breakup. However, I think that, you know, when they're done well and you understand the characters, like it makes sense sometimes for you to like take that break apart. But
totally.
I mean, like full disclosure, this truly is one of my favorite books of 2024. Like
thank you so much.
Connected so deeply with like the characters, the insecurities, and like my nerdy little millennial heart. Like there's just not a lot out there for us. And like you've created something that's so cool. So I fully I believed everything that happened to the characters through.
Awesome. I love that.
And one of my like book annoyances, it's so minor, but is like the epilogue. Like I hate epilogues that are like, you know, 3 years in the future they're married and have a kid. But I loved your epilogue because my grandpa's from Scotland, so like the Loch Ness Monster is one of my favorite stories. So I love that we like took it there, and like the flip with like her believing and everything. I thought that was like a great like happily ever after without being
Yeah.
too cliche or anything. It was
Yeah. I think it suits them.
good. Yes.
Yes, 100%. So they produce the Out There from, he goes from podcast to on screen. And so it's a full-blown production. So if there was one episode that you wrote in the book that you could see fully produced come to life with a real life Hallie and Hayden, which one, what conspiracy, what vibe would you want it to be?
Oh boy. Of the ones that are in the book, I think I would want to see their Queen Mary episode. Because I feel like they go a little bonkers with that one. I feel like the Area 51 episode at the end would be really fun. Also because I think that there would be a lot of joy in that moment because they've just overcome this, hardship. They know they're gonna, get another season, and they, the future is bright for the two of them. So I feel like they would kind of be like really at their peak performance. Where else would I want to send them? Yeah, I think those are the two big ones, but I will be thinking about that. That'll like come back to me like when I'm trying to go to sleep tonight.
It's gonna like hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like, well, I can always like write the episode and do newsletter content or something.
That'd be so fun.
It would be really fun. That was one of my favorite parts of writing the book, was doing all the transcripts, because their banter the banter is bantering, and sometimes you have to trim it down because you're like, they can't just talk forever. They have to like do plot.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. And we both listened to it on audio too. So like the audio production while reading along with it.
So fun.
It elevated it so much because we are audiobook truthers. Like,
yeah.
I love when like there's sound effects and you actually get into it.
So hype about that. Like I struggle with audiobooks just because like for me it's harder to focus, but I listened to this one and I'm really glad that I did, because the narrator Alex Fink did such a fantastic job bringing Hallie to life. And I love the podcast. And like when I realized for the first time that it was like the Out There theme song that like is like mentioned in the book, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I never thought I'd get something like that.
Yeah,
That's
it
so
brought it
fun.
to life. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any like favorite nerdy banter lines from Hayden?
Oh, I love the whole exchange during the scene at the Roosevelt Hotel where they're did that ghost just call me a bitch? And then the ghost, changes like ass. I love that scene. I just think that was like them coming into their own as characters for me. So I do love that. Or I love Hallie's the internet demands spicy ghost content is also a favorite.
Yes, so good.
All right, we ready to get a little weird and dive into
Always.
the fun?
Absolutely.
All right, Mallory, you start out. What's your favorite conspiracy?
I love alien conspiracy theories. I'm an Aquarius, and it shows. So like it's like so funny. You would check every astrology app, and it's like Aquarius alien emoji, and that is me. It's really fitting. So I love alien conspiracy theories because there is like an alien's answer to every conspiracy theory. Like if you were to look at a list of them, at one point there's always going to be like, well, it was aliens that did it. So I think that they're so far reaching and I also find them fascinating, and like it's something that I explored further in my second book, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I also really like the JFK assassination theories because I think it is so crazy. It's something so public and like something that was so like history altering, and we don't really know what happened. That's pretty crazy to me. So I hope one day we find out.
Yeah.
I don't think we will, but I hope.
Probably not. I feel like those high scale ones, like, unfortunately, we're just kind of stuck with what we have.
Yeah.
There's one conspiracy theory that I have that's like so, I went down so many YouTube videos. It's so, you guys, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But it's the Chuck E. Cheese pizza conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It is so stupid. But do you know how many videos I watched of people like going to different Chuck E. Cheeses and watching their pizzas be like re-put together?
Mismatched. Yeah.
That is just, one of those. And then also, it's again another like super off the wall one, but I did get really deep in the Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer conspiracy theory. That we all know, probably
it's
not.
Yeah,
but there's some compelling evidence.
Yeah. It's sometimes the ones that are just so out of the box that you're like, there's no way. They're just really funny to like
Yes.
just keep pushing because it's like no stakes. Like no one cares. Like it doesn't change anything if Ted Cruz is a Zodiac killer. Like
Yep.
he's like obviously not, but it's not hurting anybody. And if it's hurting anyone, it's hurting Ted Cruz, which
is like
I'm
fine.
cool with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all collectively fine with that.
Yes.
My favorite one is that birds aren't real.
Yes.
Yes. Birds are a government conspiracy.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
They're suspicious.
So funny because it started as a joke and now we're like, well, maybe.
I know, right? Like,
yes,
that bird is oddly, like, there was one time my husband and I, our first date, right? We went to Sedona and we took like a Jeep tour up, and there was literally a bird just like, because birds can like fly in like one place, just hovering there. And it looked like this bird was frozen, and like that was like the start of it. I'm like, yep, that's not real.
The Matrix.
That's not real.
The simulation.
Yes, aliens. See,
yeah,
aliens.
Or like how golden doodles are actually humans.
Yeah, I actually just saw that for the first time the other day, and I was like, oh,
was it the one where he's like sitting on the stairs? That one freaks me out.
Yeah,
there's like a girl sitting on the stairs, just like properly.
Listen,
I'm like,
I do love I love a good rabbit hole about something insane.
Yeah, I also love the theory about like mattress stores being like money laundering fronts, because it is true. Like then you start noticing how many mattress stores there are, especially like in the age of Amazon. It's like,
yeah,
are you really doing that much business? Is there that much demand for mattresses, which you only buy like every 10 years? Like really? Something's going on there.
Yeah, because like why are there 10 stores in a like half square mile radius?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I'm in LA, and like Studio City is like one of like the little neighborhoods around me, and there's like one strip of this one town where there's like 5 mattress stores, and I don't know, I never see anyone in them, so I'm really confused. But I buy that one hardcore.
There's something going on. You can't convince me otherwise on that one. Do you have a favorite famous haunting, like any like big haunts that you are really into?
I really love the Queen Mary. That there was a very good reason why I picked that place, because it's just cool. It's also a fun setting, like just boat. And I've been there. I went there for like my birthday a couple of years ago. And it does have a weird vibe to it. Like it feels a little off. So I really enjoyed that. I went to college in Boston, and I mean, that is a haunted city. So everything there is like very eerie. Like our college theater had like a ghost in it. And so like people didn't like to work late nights there because they'd hear the seats flipping up and stuff. So I love a good haunted Boston experience.
Love that. I know Hannah and I talked about the Winchester House. That's like a one that we both vibe with. One for me is always the Lizzie Borden story in the Lizzie Borden house. That one has stuck with me forever and ever. I just think like there's no way that like there's not some weird energy up in that place.
Oh, totally. I mean, like I really want to go there eventually. There was a scene in like an old version when this book was set in Boston where they did go to the Lizzie Borden house. So that would be a really fun place to send them for like an extra bonus content.
Yeah. There's a place by us. It's actually called Eloise Asylum. It's one of the most supposedly haunted places in Michigan. And I've done like, they have a haunted house there now, but I've done an escape room there. Like they have an escape room, and it's literally called Escape the Asylum. And like halfway through I looked at my group and I was like, do we think this is offending the ghosts? Like I'm busting down like a padded room, and I'm like taking down like an evil mad scientist. And I'm like, I feel like I might take something home with me if I'm not careful.
You're like
it's all an elaborate ploy.
Yes.
Yeah, if I get an attachment, at least I had fun.
Exactly. Like we did escape, but I was terrified.
That's so much fun.
Did you have any like favorite paranormal shows growing up? We loved that Hayden had this like, date with Zach.
Beef,
Zach
yeah.
Bagans.
Yeah.
And I love that you like apologized in the acknowledgements. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I love Ghost Adventures. It's just like it's sometimes actually really scary, but then like a lot of the time it is really funny because they're just like very weird people.
Yeah.
I remember watching, there was a show on Discovery Kids called Mystery Hunters, and it was like for kids specifically, but they had like these two teenagers go out and investigate all these different haunted places, or like that was where I first learned about Mothman. And some of those episodes really scared me, and that was like very impressionable on me when I was like 10. So I kind of blame Mystery Hunters for getting me really into the paranormal TV shows.
Yeah. I was a Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters girl. Like that
Mhm.
was my my combo. Grew up watching Charmed. I fully believed that I was Piper Halliwell. Like I believed with my whole chest that was it. And also another one too, because we're gonna chat a little bit about Love at First Sighting too. But you posted about Fringe, like Fringe vibes. No one that I know has ever watched Fringe, and it's one of my favorite shows to ever exist. Like, so good.
It's a good one. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, I'm
It's
trying
on
to
my
think if
list
there
to
are
watch.
any like
Better.
scripted shows that I'm like, I loved Ghost Whisperer as a kid. Like I would watch that every Friday night with my mom, and I was like, oh my god, she can talk to ghosts. This is so cool.
Yep. Or like the dramatic reenactments on like I think the show is just called Haunting, or like
Oh yeah.
or a ghost ruined my life, and it's like the worst like SFX makeup you've ever seen, and just like your like sleep paralysis demon come to life in like a corner just staring at you.
Yeah,
I know. All those would like freak me out, but I could watch them in the daylight. And if it was night, I'd be like, nope, I'm not watching it.
Nope.
I'm such a baby, but I love these things too. But Ghost Adventures was my jam growing up. I love that.
Yeah. I just like seeing where they would put Aaron next.
Like, oh my god,
where
they're
are they
so
gonna
mean
put
to
that
poor
man?
Aaron.
Don't have you guys. Like
They're
I
like,
would
this is the worst. Yeah. Like this is the worst location in the whole haunted asylum, and we're gonna send Aaron in. Like, of course.
Yes.
Poor guy.
Awful.
So we talked about your favorite conspiracies, aliens. So you've announced your next book, right? Which is Love at First Sighting. We got a little sneak peek at the end of this book. What can you tell us about it? What can we look forward to?
So I like to describe this book as like the X-Files if Alexis Rose from Schitt's Creek and Fred from Scooby-Doo were Scully and Mulder, respectively. Because it really is two weirdos who are very well not equipped to solving a mystery. It does have like an action adventure element to it. It gives, I think, like an episode of the X-Files, not just in the dynamic. Like I think Love and Other Conspiracies, it's really like the skeptic and believer dynamic. This one, you're like in the episode investigating like what's going on. I got to like touch on like one of my favorite eras of like, I'm fascinated by like the 1940s, 50s Cold War alien boom that like was happening. So I got to like really dive into that era and do a lot of research and like evoke those vibes, the 1950s vibes in a contemporary romance. It's really zany and weird. I hope people like it, but it's like some of the most fun I've ever had writing a book.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, Alexis Rose from Schitt's Creek, I'm sold. Go no further. I'm literally sold. Add Fred from Scooby-Doo. I think you've created my dream book. Like,
yes. Fans already right here. We
will
sold us.
We'll read it. We'll love it. I promise.
Yeah, that should be out next summer. I've seen the cover. It's gorgeous. So I really can't wait to like share that hopefully soon. But yeah, I can't wait to like reveal what the actual book is about because I'm kind of like keeping it close to my chest for now. And I'm like, I feel like I'm confusing people. They're like, what kind of book is this?
No, it's exciting.
From the excerpt and that, like, I'm good. I
You're
all
like,
that I
I'm
need
sold.
to see. Yes.
Yep. Speaking of covers, I love this cover too.
Yes.
How like the Mothman's on his shirt and everything.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
They nailed it. They just did such a great job. Like it was like they went into my brain and just like took the idea out and made it. It was amazing how close they got to like my vision.
Yeah. I went to a little indie bookstore yesterday
Mhm.
and your book was there. And so I like moved it out like this. But I was like,
You're like, I'm not reorganizing. It's fine. Don't mind me.
No, I'm just rotating.
just moving this out.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now that we've chatted all about Love and Other Conspiracies, what's coming up next, we can go back to our songs and talk a little bit about how they relate to Love and Other Conspiracies. You can pick out a lyric or two, as much as you want, as little as you want, whatever the vibe is.
So I brought 2 songs to class today, and I printed out the lyrics. They're right in front of me because I knew I would forget them.
Yes.
The first one is a song called Cryptid Mothman in parentheses by an artist named Ratwife. And this song is just such a fun little indie acoustic bop. And it really is all about being insecure in yourself and thinking about how much easier your life would be if you were Bigfoot or Mothman. There's literally a lyric that's like, maybe I want to be a cryptid, maybe I don't want to exist in this world. When everyone's comments turn into scars, when everyone's lies say, be who you are, what if I want to be a cryptid? What if my ideal body is Bigfoot's? So it really, I think that it relates a lot to Hayden mostly, but also a little bit Hallie, because we do deal with her being afraid to be seen. And, you know, he's dealt with kind of pulling away and becoming really isolated after his father's death. And he struggles to put himself out there too. And so I think that it's a really apt metaphor of like, it would be so much easier to just pull away and be this hidden, scary creature instead of having to like face up to things. It also has like just the wonderful lyric of lately I've been putting the cry in cryptid, and that is art right there.
That's amazing.
It was like one of the first songs that I like discovered as I was making the playlist for Love and Other Conspiracies, and I was like, this is just so them. This is perfect. But it's a really fun song, especially if you're like in like a spooky season playlist kind of vibe. It fits great on your little like indie fall playlist.
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then my second one is Begin Again by Taylor Swift. I am a massive Swiftie, as we discussed earlier. But this song is really very Hallie to me, and it always has been. I think that when I listen to this song, it feels very much still like a release, like you're letting out an exhale because finally you found somebody who sees these little things about you, like, you know, you think I'm fine because he never did, or, you know, he noticed it, he pulls the chair out and does these little things for her that kind of make you be like, oh, there is something, like love is worth it, and I should be okay pursuing it again and healing, and, you know, putting those negative people who really made you doubt yourself behind you. So I feel like that Begin Again is really like how Hallie feels when I think she starts to fall for Hayden, and it always makes me think of them very fondly whenever it comes on.
Oh, I love that. Begin Again is such a good, like, breath of fresh air kind of song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like relieving in a way. It's amazing how she just evokes those really clear feelings in her songs, and you're like, I feel the way that she wanted me to. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw someone say on TikTok the other day, because again, I'm just, you know, doom scrolling always, but they said that Taylor writes very specific things that make you feel universal emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas a lot of artists write about very specific emotions that you like, you can maybe relate to a specific situation. Yeah. Hers is like, I've never walked into a cafe on a Wednesday and watched it begin again, but I believe, I feel. Yeah. I understand.
Totally. Yeah. And I think like her imagery is so powerful. Like I always think about like the dancing in the kitchen and the refrigerator light from All Too Well. And it's like, have I ever done that? No, I haven't. But I still know what that feeling would be like when you're with somebody that you care about and you're just having this silly, joyful moment. Like she's just so good at that. Yeah. So good at it.
I love that.
She is.
Yeah. Of course, we both picked Taylor songs, naturally. Yeah. I had picked Slut because, honestly, well, Hallie and Hayden blow up online, and Cade does everything in his power to ruin their reputation. And specifically, a couple of the lines were, love thorns all over this rose, I'll pay the price, you won't. where Hallie's talking to Hayden and being like, women will always get judged differently than men. You have like as much as you believe in me and I trust you, your life will always be easier than mine.
Yeah.
But the song is about her saying like, they might as well be looking at us now.
Yeah.
You know, basically like, screw it. Like if they're going to call me a slut, if they're going to call me these things, I'm not going to let the love that I have for you go away. In the bridge, it's send the code, he's waiting there. The sticks and stones they throw froze midair. And I break down and then he's pulling me in a world of boys. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
And it just feels like the embodiment of Hallie realizing like people will talk regardless of what's happening.
Yeah.
And Hayden always being that ongoing like rock support system.
Mhm.
And her grappling with the idea that they're going to call me a slut. They're going to call me all of these names. But at the end of the day, like I found something that's worth, being drunk in love over. It's something that's worth it to me. And that's the line too. Like, it might be worth it for once.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up picking Slut. Once I listened to it, I was like, I feel like I have to. Like it fit perfectly for me.
I love that song. It's the Vault, 1989 Vault hits.
We got over it too quickly. We moved on too fast.
I know, we did.
I didn't have enough time.
I'm still there.
Yes.
I'm right where you left me.
I was going to say, help, I'm still at the restaurant.
On the set, I'm still at the restaurant too.
I did pick Begin Again for another book, but I feel like if I didn't, I probably would have picked it for this one. But I picked Mean as my main song because it just felt like with the big conflict and everything, just her reclaiming, her power back, right? Like, hey, someday I'm going to be living in a big old city, but all you're going to be is mean. Like just that whole, mood of the song is just like, yep. Yeah. When she finally realizes that. But I did want to talk about my runner-up though, because which is Mine, because I feel like Mean and Mine go really well with this book. And just too with Mine where she's like, can you believe it? Because conspiracy and everything. I just feel like the line, just lying on the couch the moment I can see it. Like I can see it now. Yeah. I feel like that's like the ending too. Like, yep, okay. She's like, I can see it now. I've overcome this big conflict, and Hayden's just the best thing to be hers.
He's mine. Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. And I love like the speak now trend.
I know.
It's awesome.
Yeah. What was it? When we recorded, we were like, oh, we had so many songs. What were your songs? And we listed, they were like all from Speak Now. We had like, I Can See You, Electric Touch, like all of these other ones. And we're like, this is obviously a Speak Now coded book. Like,
yeah. And it's funny because like, I'm not a Speak Now girly either, but I think I started with Haunted and I worked my way around it.
Yeah.
On these ones.
Yeah. It's funny because I've always felt like this was a very like Evermore album or Evermore book. Yeah. I think that's what I would pick for it.
I could see.
Yeah, I can see like the vibes from it too, and like all of the emotions that she has surrounding
it. Flannel.
Tolerate it. Tolerate it.
I almost put on my Evermore flannel today too. I almost threw it on.
Yeah, Tolerate It is a very Hallie Cade song.
Yeah. One last question. What is your Taylor era? Like what's your
God.
What is yours?
Probably Reputation. I love Reputation.
Yeah.
Me too. It's Rep Girl for sure.
Yeah. I am a sad folklore girly.
That I was like, that might be like a backup.
Yeah. Folklore and TTPD are mine.
Yeah. Which I'm like, oh yeah, sad girly.
Yeah. Followed closely by 1989.
Yeah, right.
Gotta have some pop in there.
We love the balance.
Yeah.
So huge thank you again to Mallory Marlowe for joining us today. So where can everyone find you, support you? Because we need to direct everyone there immediately.
Yeah, for sure. I am mostly on Instagram at Mallory Marlowe Writes. That's my most active social media, but you can also find me on Twitter /X, whatever we're calling it these days, at Mallory_Marlowe. And you can find Love and Other Conspiracies at your local bookstore. And I would encourage everybody to read it and buy it and tell their friends. That way I get to keep writing, weird stories for everybody, because that would be a dream.
Yes.
Yes, we want you to keep reading. Or keep writing so we can keep reading.
Yes, exactly.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Patreon as well. We love to hear your book recommendations and want to know what you're reading next and what you want us to cover.
Yes.
And remember to keep reading with kindness.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.